How's she going right there, eh? It's Denis here from Denis Logie Outdoors. Just gonna do a quick little garden tour of the garden I got at the house. So the other day I pulled all the peas. There's the pea plant right there. Whatever peas that were left over, I saved the seed. I think I might bring some up to the camp and try some up there. Not that I need any more pea seeds, I got all kinds of them. So there's, on that end, we have asparagus planted. It did really well this year. I think, I see, I had them tied up, and I just noticed there that the rope string that I had on there just broke. We had some bad wind the other day, so I'll tie that back up. So here we got the garlic patch. On this far end, on the right hand side, that is elephant garlic. It's a lot larger. They take a couple of years to start splitting, so they're a couple of years old, so they should split into smaller bulbs. I'm hoping this year. See, there's a volunteer kale. I'll probably rip that out. This is the soft neck garlic, which is not doing that great. I'm not really sure why. I just pulled the scapes off a couple of days ago. Maybe I did that a little too late. Have another row, small row of garlic here, and on this end right here, they are, we had a lot of garlic sprouting out, volunteers that I found all over the garden, so I kind of organized them a little bit better. Right in here, that's where the peas were. I planted some carrots. I'm going to try that. It might be a little too late for that, but for some reason I couldn't get carrots to really grow that well this year. So this here is a couple of rows of cabbage, and these were transplants that I pulled out from the original row, which is over here on the left. I'll show you that. I thought these ones would be a little farther behind than the other ones, but they seem to be doing just as well, or maybe even better. There's a volunteer, that's just a lamb's quarters. I was kind of leaving that there just to kind of try it. I guess a lot of people use that as spinach. Couple of rows of tomatoes, 2 rows and a bit. I can't remember which one, but one of these are the what do they call those, Appalachian or Cherokee purples. So I'm really kind of glad to get some of those. I'm hoping to keep some seeds from that. Couple of volunteer pumpkins. I was trying to keep them all separated. We have yellow and white ones planted and orange, so I was trying to keep them separated so they wouldn't cross-pollinate, or try not to let them cross-pollinate. I'm not sure how well that's going to turn out. So there's robins flying around. A lot of birds out this morning. Corn. This is probably the second, third time I've tried corn. Seems to be doing really well. They're probably like 3 feet tall. Over on this end, have pumpkins, or not pumpkins, cucumbers planted. They didn't do well at all this year for some odd reason. It might be the spot up against the fence, but usually I try to grow them on that side of the fence so I can get them to crawl up the fence, and it doesn't impede with the sunlight, because the sun travels across here this way, shining towards me. So maybe I'll have to try to find another spot for the cucumbers. 2 rows of beans. One row did better than the other ones. I can't remember which one's green, which one's yellow. A couple of blank spots in there for some odd reason. Got 4 rows of potatoes in through here. So you got some volunteer tomatoes growing there, volunteer kale. That is an apple tree that I planted on its side, so I'm healing it in. I'm trying that out. Then I planted the potatoes all around it, not to help it or anything, but that apple tree got ripped or broken from a deer that I had planted way down over there, over the bank. And it's not like a wild apple tree. It is a store-bought tree. And last fall, late fall, I stuck it in the ground here in the middle of the garden because we were done gardening, and it sprouted up. So I'm hoping that this fall, when I pull the potatoes out, I'll just try to replant that apple tree somewhere. This is the other cabbage I was just talking about, the original ones. So they were planted way too thick. So what I did is I pulled all those other ones out, transplanted them over on that end because I had the space. And like I said, these ones don't seem to be doing as well, but I guess it's like a mixture of a couple of different varieties. But I mean, we do have cabbage kind of forming, so I think this year, to give them more space, I'll start pulling them a little earlier and we'll start eating them. There's a row of turnip that are pretty well finished. See, there's a bunch of slugs and stuff. I should get at that. Snails. Might do that this morning. Here we have a patch of onions that were left in from last year. I had an onion patch over here last year, and then this spring these wintered, and so I pulled them all and I put them in one spot. And the plan is once they start drying, I will collect the seed. So there's 3 different types in here. There's white, yellow, and red onions. Hopefully I'll get a variety of seed from that. Apparently once they start drying and you start seeing the black part of the seed, you cut them off and shake them in a 5-gallon bucket and collect all the seeds. So I'll just mix that whole thing. A whole bunch of volunteer tomatoes. So we've been having tomatoes growing volunteer wise for quite a while, quite a few years, and every year I keep planting transplants from the house, and I really don't know why I do that, because I always have way too many tomatoes. Here is a row of peppers that were a little behind. They are starting to come, not too bad right now, but hopefully they get a little bit better. We have been getting some peppers in the past. Here's a row of beets that didn't do well at all. I'm really surprised. I think I tried planting them twice, so I really don't know what the deal is there. Row of kale. I can grow kale like crazy. This is actually way too thick, so I should start ripping some of that out, and we should start eating some of that. Here is a row of zucchini that is a little behind. For some reason, they weren't sprouting up. I did plant these in packets and transplanted them out here. This is a different variety. I can't remember the name. It's kind of a yellow type, and the flesh is supposedly pink inside. So a few years I've done really well with zucchini, and sometimes I don't. So I don't know what the deal is there. Here's another 3 rows of potatoes. Should do some weeding in there. A bunch of lamb's quarter growing. And I should hill these ones a little bit. So I'll probably do that here soon. Anyhow, some things are doing really well and some things aren't for some odd reason. I've noticed that let's see if there's any deer down there. I noticed for some reason my wood chips are getting old, I guess, and I haven't been getting any more wood chips from like the tree service guys for the past couple of years. So I'm gonna have to get my own chipper, I think, and get my own wood chips. Pumpkins on this end here along the fence. So usually I try to grow them along the fence, and then once the vines start, I just push them through the fence so I don't take up any real estate in the garden, and they just kind of crawl all down this bank. And if I can collect them or harvest them before the deer get to them, that usually works out pretty good. Got to do some more weeding. Got these vines growing all over the place. There's a couple more sunflower plants that are doing okay, I guess. Anyhow, that's it for now. So if you could like, share, subscribe, comment. Thanks for watching. That's the end there, eh?